Homeownership. It's the ultimate investment, right? At least that's what politicians, your parents, and even your grandparents have told you for years. But let's get real. Your primary resident doesn't generate income, and every month it eats up your money. Sure, it builds equity, but it's not what I call an investment. In real estate, an investment grows your wealth. It generates income. A rental property, a house flip, or a development project, that's what an investment looks like. But here's the twist. What if I told you you could have both? Live in your home, enjoy all the benefits of homeownership, and still build wealth like an investor. Today, I'll show you how that's done. We'll break down the myths, compare the pros and cons, and show you how Toronto bungalows can be the key to combining stability with financial growth. So let's start by breaking down the two paths: owning a home versus investing in real estate. So homeownership pros. It offers stability, customization, and a sense of pride. It's your space. You can renovate, decorate, and settle in. But the cons, it can be expensive. Between your mortgage, taxes, and utilities, you're putting out thousands every month without generating income. And let's not forget, you can't sell a bedroom for quick cash. Now, on the investment side, let's look at some of the pros. Investment properties generate passive income. They let you build equity while someone else, your tenants, help pay the mortgage. But if we look at the cons, investment properties require a lot more capital, and they come with added responsibilities like maintenance and tenant management. And there's always market risk. So these two paths have their strength. But what if you didn't have to choose two separate paths? The hybrid approach combines the best of both worlds. Let's look at an example: 70 Dunraven Drive. So this bungalow is priced at just under $900,000 and comes with a fully separate basement apartment, perfect for renting. If you rent out the basement for, let's say, around $1,350 a month, and that's fairly conservative, you can offset a huge portion of your mortgage costs while living upstairs. This is what I mean by making your home work for you. So let's look at how all the numbers work. Let's look at the three different types of scenarios of homeownership. So scenario number one is traditional ownership. A single family home at around $900,000 with 20% down means about a $720,000 mortgage. So at 4.5% interest over 25 years, that's just over $4,000 a month. And property taxes and utilities, you're looking at around $46.50 every month with no rental. Now, scenario number two, if we look at a hybrid property with rental income at 20% down, that same property with a $4,000 mortgage and $650 in other costs brings in $1,350 a month from the basement apartment. So that rental income brings your adjusted monthly costs down to just over $3,300 or 29% savings. Now, let's say you don't have 20% down. Let's look at a third scenario. So let's look at the hybrid property with the basement apartment and a CMHC loan. Now, let's say you only have to put down 7.22% with CMHC backing. Your mortgage jumps to $870,000 almost, with monthly payments of $4,827. Now you add taxes, utilities, subtract rental income, and the adjusted cost is around $4,100. Still more affordable than the traditional ownership model from scenario one. The hybrid approach makes homeownership more accessible while giving you room to grow. Now, let's talk about what happens if you're not planning to live in the property. Maybe you're only interested in real estate as an investment. This is where CMHC's programs can be a complete game changer. The Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation offers insured loans for multiplex properties with like duplexes, triplexes, even larger rental buildings. With CMHC backing, you can finance up to 85% of the purchase price. That means you need less capital upfront, lowering the barrier to entry for first-time investors. They also offer incentives if your property includes energy efficient upgrades, affordable rental units, or accessibility improvements. So for example, if you commit to keeping rents below market rates, you may qualify for reduced premiums and longer amortizations up to 40 years, which is pretty wild. What this means for you is that even if you're not living in the property, CMHC makes it a little bit easier to build a portfolio of income-generating real estate. So it's a way to secure long-term wealth and sustainable foundation. So CMHC is just creating tools to add more rental stock to our market, which is something we desperately need. Now, this is a tool that many investors overlook, but it's designed to make multiplex ownership more accessible to a lot more Canadians. Now let's look back over to that example I shared already. Let's zoom in on one of Toronto's hidden gems, and it's a hidden gem house type called Bungalows. These homes are incredibly versatile and offer opportunities that many people don't recognize, especially when we look at it from an investment perspective. Then in neighborhoods like here in Eglinton West, bungalows make up a significant portion of the housing stock. These homes were built during an era of larger lots and simpler layouts, making them ideal candidates for hybrid ownership or full-on investment. Bungalows are super versatile. They can be converted into duplexes or triplexes with relatively little effort, especially since many already have separate entrances to the basement, and because they sit on larger lots, you also have the potential to add accessory dwellings or even add additional floors. But here's what really makes bungalows stand out. They're highly adaptable. If you're a young family, you can live in one unit and rent the other. But later, when your needs change, you could redevelop the entire property, renting it out fully or selling it for a significant return. And as Toronto densifies, these larger lots are becoming even more valuable. You're not just buying a home, you're securing a piece of land that could evolve with the city. All right, so now let's talk about building wealth for the future. And let's look at what the long-term strategy will look like. The beauty of a hybrid approach is that it's like a stepping stone. It doesn't lock you into just one financial path. So let's look at step one. Start small with the hybrid ownership. You start by living in a home with a rental unit. The rental income helps you manage costs while building equity. Then if you look at step two, you leverage your equity for expansion. So over time, as you pay down the mortgage and the property's value grows, you can use that equity to buy your next property. Maybe it's a larger home for your family, or perhaps it's a multiplex solely for investment. Step three, create a portfolio. If you keep the first property as a rental, you're now generating passive income from multiple sources. With each step, you're building a diversified real estate portfolio. So the beauty of this strategy is its flexibility. Whether your goal is financial security, early retirement, or leaving an inheritance, the hybrid ownership model adapts to your life stage and ambitions. It's not about jumping straight into full-time investing. It's about taking smart, manageable steps that grow your wealth over time. Real estate isn't one size fits all. Whether you're buying your first home or exploring your next investment, the key is finding a property that aligns with your goals. And with the hybrid approach, you don't have to choose between stability and growth. If this sounds like the right strategy for you, let's connect. Drop a comment below or reach out to me directly. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video for more insights into real estate strategies that go beyond just the surface.